I am LaMarsha Lewis. Let's talk. Disclaimer: fair use. I am LaMarsha Lewis. Let's Talk YouTube channel is a news reporting site covered under copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research without the need for permission from or payment to the copyright holder. That is my fair use disclaimer. So, what we're going to talk about today is Thursday, July the 22nd, and I'm in Central time zone. It's 11:23, the timing of this commentary. But what I want to talk about is the upcoming January 6th committee that Speaker Nancy Pelosi is forming to hold the people accountable for what took place at our nation's capital, January the 6th, 2021. We're in the 7th month of this year, so basically this has been 7 months ago when the former 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, orchestrated at the direction of him, at the incitement of him, put a hit on America. There's no other way to say it. He put a hit on the United States of America at our nation's capital. All because he wasn't man enough to accept the results of the 2020 presidential election, where he lost to now our 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden. He put out the big lie. He had his base. He riled them up. He told them to go down and fight like hell. He told them, once he finally came out to speak, after at the time President-elect Biden told him he needed to come and speak to American people, he said, "We love you. You are very special." And he continues to taunt this lie, the big lie, that he won when everybody knows he lost. But let's get to what's going on. Again, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, is forming a committee. And Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy supposedly gave 6 recommendations from the GOP. And 2 of those recommendations, the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, rejected. And she had good cause. One being Jim Jordan, who has been stated to have said that he may be a potential witness. The other one being Jim Banks, who has reportedly and allegedly not taken the matter serious and has made comments that seem as if he would not be a fair person to this committee for what the cause is. Again, holding people accountable for the insurrection that took place at our nation's capital. The Republican Party, the GOP, continues to try to make you and I, trying to play us dumb, trying to play us ignorant, trying to play us stupid, as if we didn't see what played out in real time on that day, January the 6th, 2021, that's now written in American history, an insurrection incited by the 45th president. And the Republican Party refuses to hold this person, this man who's not worthy to be called a man, because he put a hit on America. And then you got people in the Republican Party saying it was a tour. And when the video showing them with the nukes and chanting "Hang Mike Pence," how they destroyed our nation's capital, how people died on that day, police officers, people lost limbs and forever will be affected. The men and women of Congress who were hiding and running, many didn't know if they would make it out to see their families again. And then you got these people, after that happened, they still went to cast vote trying to reject we, the American people's will, that Joe Biden was our president. You had senators and representatives still went and voted against certifying the electoral college, the votes. We cannot afford to allow these people, these corrupt, inhumane adults. We need to get new leadership in Washington, D.C. There's no other way to say it. But again, he tried to, Kevin McCarthy, the GOP picks for January 6th committee that he picked were, again, of Indiana, Representative Jim Banks, which was rejected by the Speaker of the House. Also, of Ohio, Representative Jim Jordan. Those two were rejected. But he also nominated of Texas Representative Troy Nehls, of Illinois, Representative Rodney Davis, of North Dakota, Representative Kelly Armstrong. Now, she didn't reject all five. She rejected the two. One, Jim Jordan, who may be a potential witness, and then again, Jim Banks, who has been making target comments that should not be made and showing that he's not taking this matter serious. So, again, I implore you to go back and review, Google January 6th, the insurrection, January 6th, 2021, a day we will never forget. Don't let what you saw in real time fool you what these Republicans are trying to do. It's been stated some of the congressmen and women took people on a tour. So that makes me think, who knows what was really told, what was really put in place. This seemed like a planned attack. In fact, we know it was a planned attack because they said Trump had been meeting with people, sending emails out, and all of these things. It was reported how Kevin McCarthy called him, told him, you need to stop this. You need to call these people out. You need to tell them to stop. And then it's reportedly said, Trump said, well, Kevin, they seem to have more courage than you. But yet this man, Kevin McCarthy, who is just despicable also, is still supporting this? Come on, people. What is really going on in America? The ladies of The View had talked about it. Many people, I'm beginning to think, I follow Liz Cheney because she's a Republican, but she's holding the Republican Party and Trump accountable, and I have respect for that. I want to try and see if we can listen to the clip that the ladies of The View spoke about.
They still can't agree on how to investigate it. Yesterday, Speaker Pelosi rejected GOP Minority Leader McCarthy's picks for a bipartisan committee, Jim Jordan and Jim Banks. Really? Now, McCarthy's crying foul. His fellow Republican, Liz Cheney, says he's the problem.
I agree.
And Speaker Pelosi spoke out about her move, quite frankly, this morning. Take a look.
Speaker Pelosi has taken the unprecedented step of denying the minority party's picks for the select committee on January 6th. This represents something that has not happened in the House before for a select committee by the historian. It's an egregious abuse of power. Pelosi has broken this institution.
This investigation must go forward. The idea that anybody would be playing politics with an attack on the United States Capitol is despicable and is disgraceful.
This is about seeking the truth. And in light of statements and actions taken by them, I could not appoint them. I said that while this may be unprecedented, so was an attack on the Capitol.
And I completely agree with Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. It may be unprecedented, as Kevin McCarthy said, but like you said, so was the attack on our nation's capital. This was at the incitement of the 45th president, and Kevin McCarthy had the audacity to say that Nancy Pelosi has broken this institution when it was his friend, the one he loafs after, the one he goes to Mar-a-Lago to have lunch with, and all of these things. Trump is who broke this country. The Republican Party continues to do the same thing because they're not holding this man accountable. Wake up, America. Wake up, America. Liz Cheney was right. Kevin McCarthy could be potentially the third person in charge. And like she said, we need someone that could potentially be the third person in charge of the presidency of the United States, to be a respectable person and to have some decency and to respect our United States of America and our Constitution. And as she said, Kevin McCarthy is not that individual. I concur. He had the audacity he's doing what Trump did, berating women and talking down in regards to women, because they got more bones than he does, more gumption than he does. He's a little coward, a little wuss, because he's continued to support a man that put his life was in danger. He knows it's a lie, but yet he still is willing to go out here and support it. And then talks down about the Speaker of the House. Had Liz Cheney removed from all her committees. All because she's standing for truth. She's standing for right. Wake up, America. And it's time to remove the Republican Party. Point blank, period. No other way to say it. And it's my hope that Speaker of the House and all the committee people that are on that committee, we get true justice, because we see within the last 4 years, when the first time Trump was I'm losing my train of thought. Twice impeached president, got impeached twice in the Senate, in the House of Representatives, yet those Republicans refused to remove him and truly hold him accountable. We need some accountability, because if we don't get the accountability, we will continue to get what we're seeing from this Republican Party. That's why I say it's time to wake up, America, and it's time to get those people out of our United States Congress. We don't need people like that representing us. MTG, Jim Jordan, Rand Paul, who was very rude to Dr. Fauci, Kevin McCarthy, what's his name, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, all of them. It's time to clean the house. It's time for accountability, and we need to start over, because we are really on the brink of not having a country, not having a democracy. Who's really supporting what we stand for? Who's supporting the United States of America Constitution? Not those that's there now. Wake up, America. It is time. And Donald J. Trump must be, no ands, ifs about it, must be held accountable, and anyone else, as we continue to investigate and learn, anyone else, even if they are a member of Congress, needs to be held accountable. Point blank, period. This is my commentary, and I am LaMarsha Lewis. Let's talk.